Have you ever seen a desert turn green again? Imagine endless sand for miles. No trees, no water, no life. Now imagine that same land covered with millions of trees, animals, and even solar panels forming a giant horse-shaped scene from space. Sounds like a movie, right? But this is real, and it happened in China. One man decided not to escape the desert but to fight it. Over 30 years, he turned dead land into a living ecosystem using willows, rabbits, and sunlight. The United Nations called it a global model for saving deserts. How did he do it? How can rabbits help rebuild nature? And what secret turned China's dry wasteland into a green paradise? Let's find out. China's Kubuqi Desert is one of the biggest deserts in the country, about the size of Massachusetts. In the past, it wasn't this massive. It used to have villages, rivers, and farms. But strong winds and drought slowly destroyed the land. Grass disappeared, rivers dried up, and the sand kept moving, burying roads, homes, and entire communities. By the 1950s, the desert had grown by more than 25 miles. The Chinese government tried everything, planting trees, banning grazing, and building wells. But nothing worked. The sand kept spreading like a living monster, swallowing everything in its path. That's when one man decided to do something crazy. His name was Wang Wenbiao, known today as the Desert King. Wang wasn't rich. He was a poor schoolteacher in Inner Mongolia who had to bike 6 miles through sand every day to reach school. The wind was so strong it buried his bike in sand, and dust filled his lungs. One day, he told himself, "If I can't escape the desert, I'll make it pay the rent." That one sentence changed everything. In 1988, with barely any money, Wang started a salt company and used every bit of profit to fight the desert. People laughed at him. They called him a dreamer, even crazy. But he didn't stop. He began planting millions of willow trees, building fences to stop sandstorms, and creating green zones that slowly brought life back. He studied the desert like a scientist, testing water levels, measuring soil, and watching how the wind moved. But trees alone weren't enough. Wang needed a full ecosystem. That's when he came up with one of the strangest ideas ever: rabbits. Instead of using machines or chemicals, Wang brought in millions of Rex rabbits, a French breed known for its soft fur. People thought he'd lost his mind, but he knew exactly what he was doing. These rabbits could survive heat and cold, eat dry grass, and multiply fast, up to 200 babies per year per female. Each rabbit produced fur worth $30, while costing only $2 to raise. Soon, China controlled 80% of the world's Rex rabbit fur market. But Wang wasn't after money. He wanted balance. The real secret was in their manure. Rabbit droppings are packed with nutrients that desert sand lacks: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. When rabbits dropped manure, it turned sand into fertile soil. And since they couldn't digest grass seeds, they were planting new life every day without even knowing it. The result? The desert began to change color. The wind no longer ruled this land. Nature was making a comeback. Remember the millions of willow trees Wang planted? They were the foundation of everything. Willows have roots that grow over 300 feet deep. That's taller than a 30-story building. These roots hold the sand in place and pull up underground water. Wang combined willows with rabbits to create what scientists call a zero-waste ecosystem. Rabbits eat willow leaves. Their manure feeds the soil. The soil grows stronger willows. This cycle repeats endlessly. No waste, no pollution, just life supporting life. Every acre of this system produces more than 5 tons of organic soil each year. Within a few years, desert land turned into farmland, and wind slowed by 90%. Over 300 million willows now form a green wall across Kubuqi, holding back 15 million tons of sand every year. But Wang's vision didn't stop there. After planting trees and saving soil, Wang took on a new challenge: energy. He built the Juanma solar power plant, with nearly 200,000 solar panels arranged in the shape of a running horse, visible from space. Each year, this solar farm generates enough power for 400,000 people, equal to the population of Miami. The panels also reduce wind speeds and create shade, allowing grass to grow underneath. Animals like rabbits, sheep, and geese now live freely among them, naturally trimming the grass. A perfect blend of technology and ecology. By 2022, this project had saved 760,000 tons of coal and prevented 1.8 million tons of carbon dioxide emissions, the same as planting 80 million trees. The desert that once killed life now produces power, food, and income for thousands of families. And then something magical happened. Wild animals, deer, foxes, and birds, returned for the first time in decades. Over 100 native plant species started growing again. The soil became soft and smelled of life. Even the underground water rose by 6 feet, proving the desert was breathing again. Families who once fled now returned. Children who grew up seeing nothing but sand now see green fields outside their windows. The impossible had become real. One man's vision had turned death into life. Today, you saw how one man's dream turned a dead desert into a green kingdom. From dry sand to flowing life, rabbits, trees, and sunlight now power an entire region. Wang Wenbu proved that when humans work with nature, not against it, even the most hopeless land can bloom again. So what do you think? Could this kind of project save other parts of our planet too? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss more stories that prove our world still has miracles left to show.